Baseball is back tonight with a shortened season, dozens of safety protocols, no fans, players can't spit. Here to talk about that and a lot more is baseball's most powerful agent, Scott Boras. Scott, welcome back. It's a good day.
It is. We're all really excited, and I know the players I represent are. They've been waiting a long time for this day, so we're all very excited.
Yeah, I remember a couple of months ago when the Koreans, I think, were starting to roll out their own protocols, and we thought, well, we'll see if they can make this work. Your general view is that Korea, Japan, Taiwan have created a pretty reliable playbook here.
I think so. I think the protocols, our protocols here are even more advanced. Our testing is more extreme, and our protocols are more defined and disciplined. And I think anything that is involved with a testing process, you're going to have a rate of false positives. But overall, I think baseball players were very steadfast about their preparation. We came in and we really had around a 1% positive when we started, and that was a real great sign that we're going to be able to, I think, effectually operate a league and consistent with what was going on in Asia. I think we'll be able to adapt that process even better.
I read a quote from one of your interviews recently. You say baseball is a socially distant sport, unlike basketball and football. Does that mean that you personally are less confident in what the NBA or NFL may do?
Well, I can't really address it other than the fact that certainly when you have in basketball that you have just the nature of the game, and you are really competitively interacting and breathing and being exercised in the performance of the sport, where the chance of droplet transfer, the importance of the isolation of the league is far more important. And they're playing in basketball, they're playing indoors. So baseball is an outdoor sport, distanced. I just think it's certainly, from what we've seen, we have a clear opportunity for success. Not to say that if everyone is isolated in the NBA and such that they cannot carry this out, and I'm very hopeful for them.
Scott, it's Deirdre here. You're putting rigorous testing in place, the proper precautions, but can't help but note, of course, that basketball and hockey are being played in bubbles, whereas baseball will be traveling amid the pandemic. Does it point to perhaps a larger labor issue here, that player safety in baseball is a negotiation rather than a given? How does it factor in when you're making these deals?
I think that every player understood the concept of the league. And again, I think in Asia, they've been traveling. The procedures of leaving the ballpark, arriving at the hotel, the isolation from the general population, I think is an important protocol that they've carried out, and they've had great success with it. So certainly the points of light about it were made aware to every player, and every player had to make their own personal decision. And overall, I really feel that having an operational protocol to look at, I think, helped a lot of players understand the relative risk factors and what considerations they would make in making their decisions.
Hey, Scott, good morning. My understanding is that you got a 60-game season. Players are being paid less than they would in a 162-game season. Not every league and every sport is willing to, or at least the players aren't willing to take a pay cut. What's your take on what's fair in this kind of situation?
Well, certainly, I think every player that I represent feels that we should have played a 110-game season and could have done that. But this is a collectively bargained dynamic. Players have literally taken right around a 65% salary cut to play this season. I think it was clear that every player felt it was important to play, both for the fans and for Major League Baseball. They made that sacrifice, and it's something that I felt was players considered the betterment of the game in doing so, and also the requirement that players miss the game. They want to play. They love the game, and this is what they do. And while the season is unusual, the course is like a college season in a way. The fact of the matter is they're outperforming and competing, and in many ways it allows them a preparation base for the 21 season, which was very important to their considerations.
Finally, Scott, we've had a lot of discussions about PPP money. You had some entities show up on the disclosure lists. Was that a good use of your time and effort, and what did it do for Boras?
I think that anybody in this process, we're small businesses, and I know we represent, nearly 100 major leaguers, and we have to remain active. And we have 140 employees, and we want to make sure that, and we kept every employee. We paid them throughout the process, kept them working for the players in doing what they're doing, both in bargaining and all the medical education and stuff we had to do. So I think for the smaller companies to remain in business and keep their clients represented appropriately, these were definitely necessary and helpful events.
We just got a couple seconds left, but with the sound effects, the fans, the cutouts, is it going to be weird, or are we going to adapt to that?
I think the main product is that you're going to see players that you recognize, and they're the greatest players in the world. What goes on in the stands and around that, I think, will be certainly different. But the reality of it is, it's that, while the issue is the cake is the same, the frosting may be a little different.
Scott, we can't wait for tonight. Thanks so much, Scott Boras. Have a good one. Let's get to the judge.